make a noise for me? Just so I know you're here.
Did you hear a voice then?
I heard something. Was that you?
I wasn't really even leaning back on it. It just suddenly, the chair moved backwards, noticeably. Was he a good teacher? Did he treat you fairly?
Hey guys, something's moving.
It is not customary that you stand up when your teacher enters the room.
This chair is making funny, weird noises. I'm not being funny.
I heard some knocking coming from that chair.
Maybe you are here because this was your favourite place, saving all those children.
Okay, this is the first session in the Ragged School. We're in the basement of the building.
That chair just moved. Coming up in this episode.
You may go to your break now.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
I thought I heard something move on the stairs.
You have the upper hand.
Is there someone down on the stairs?
But it's all gone quiet now. What's happened?
Yes, sir, yes. Evan Poison. Manufacture record. Yes, sir. Go. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Here we go. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Here we go. It's like a light is in my face, but I can't fall for you. I close my eyes and drift away. I've overdosed on you. Cause then you wake up dead one day.
Our investigation continues at the old Ragged School, home of Dr. Bernardo. We are in the classroom on the first floor, where Phil is about to commence a lesson.
It is not customary that you stand up when your teacher enters the room. You, boy. What's your name, boy?
Peter.
Well, stand up when I enter the room. Now sit down, the pair of you. Right, my name's Bradshaw, but you will refer to me as Sir.
Our static night cam picks up an anomaly which comes out of the ceiling, moving from left to right. It then disappears as it reaches Peter.
And first thing I'll do is the register. Starting off with Bradshaw.
Sir.
Young.
Sir.
Who else is here? Come on, boy. I don't recognise you. Tell me your name. Right, sit down. Okay. Now here at this school, we would normally teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. We would teach you about money. We would teach you about numbers. But today, we're going to look at something else. We're going to look at the future. Now, is that you?
No.
That's right. I said the future.
That was right in my ear. It was like someone is sitting in that desk there.
You may notice in front of me, I have placed some objects. A teddy. You're familiar with a teddy? You may not own one, but you must have seen those rich children have teddies. This one is different. This one is lit up using electricity.
Our digital recorder is now receiving an EVP. When Phil talks about the teddy, a voice responds by saying, "A bear." Here is the enhanced audio.
Those rich children have teddies. This one is different. This one is lit up using electricity. Those rich children have teddies. This one is different. This one is lit up using electricity. Now, electricity is fairly new. And what in the future they will be able to do is they will be able to produce electricity in small devices which they call batteries, which will enable this to light up. If you were to come near this, it will change colour. It will go from red to green. Does anybody have any questions about how the teddy works? And I will explain. Out of the back of the teddy, there is a piece of wire, and this wire is very sensitive, and it picks up changes in the electrical magnetic field around you. And if you come near it, as I say, it will detect that and will change the teddy into a green teddy. Now you may also notice that on some of your desks we have these little balls that, as if by magic, light up when you go near them. I have one up here, and it will light up. Now, by all means, pick these balls up and have a look at them. There you go, just like that. You boy, pick one up. Don't be shy. Or if you prefer, we have this little car down here. Now you won't know what a car is, this is from the future. It will replace the horse and cart, the horse-drawn carriage. Initially, it will be powered by oil, by diesel, by petrol. But in time, that will change, and again it will be powered by electricity. As this little model is, and if you look at this little model, you'll notice that it's lighting up, as we said, but if again, it's got the same sensor technology as this device. If you go near it, you can make it move without touching it. Now, I would normally tell you to stay in your seats, but on this occasion, I'd like you to come up and play with these toys and tell me what you think. Tell me how you think they work. Is nobody brave enough? I'm going to leave these toys here, and at any stage you may play with them. Just for today, of course, if you don't want to play with them, then we can do some maths instead. Young.
Yo!
I beg your pardon?
Yes, sir.
That's better. Do you know what pie is?
Yeah, my mum does apple and blackcurrant with some custard.
Come up the front. Hand out. Ow. Back to your seat. As I said before, do you know what pie is?
No, sir.
I will tell you what pie is. Pie?
I know what it is.
Go on, Bradshaw.
3.14.
3.142.
5.
That'll do for me. Do you know how we derive pi? Where it came from?
Pythagoras.
That is correct. And what did Pythagoras do to discover pi? Come on, Bradshaw.
Something to do with triangles.
He drew a circle.
Circles.
And he worked out that if he drew a circle of 1 inch in diameter, the circumference of the circle would equal pi, 3.142. He then realised that if you increase the diameter, that it was directly related to pi, because to get the diameter of a circle, the circumference of a circle, we take the diameter and we multiply it by pi. Is that not right?
Sounds right.
It sounds right to me as well. I think we'll leave you to play with the toys now. So stand up. You too, boy. Okay, you may go to your break now.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Moving movement comes from the doorway to the classroom, as if someone is leaving the lesson. Here is the audio taken from my camera's audio.
Okay, you may go to your break now.
Did you hear that?
I heard that. Okay, you may go to your break now.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
We leave the first floor classroom and make our way to the second floor classroom. We set up a tri-field meter and several REM pods that will detect any change in the electromagnetic field around us. I believe that one of the young boys that was here, his name was Jim Jarvis. And I believe it was one night when Dr. Bernardo was locking up the building, he found him on the first floor stairwell and told him that he had to go home. But little Jimmy told the doctor that he couldn't because he had no home, and also he had no parents. Is little Jimmy still here? Little Jim Jarvis, if you can hear me, can you come and join us, please? Now, I know that many of the children that were here, their families in the East End of London, they died from cholera. So the doctor brought you here to give you an education, maths, English, the Bible, so you could then try and find work with an education. And I know that one boy got turned away because the place was so full. And he died, which I believe was in a cemetery not far away. And that's why the doctor then put above the door, no child that is destitute will ever be turned away. So did you enjoy your time here? I was told that for breakfast you had bread and cocoa, and for your dinner, lentil or pea soup. So you was really well fed as well. It must have been great living here and sleeping here. I thought I heard something move on the stairs. Is there someone down on the stairs? That noise was behind you in the corner, Phil. I hear noises coming from the stairwell behind me, and as I walk over to the door, a voice is received saying, "Want water?" And when I ask if there is someone down on the stairs, footsteps can be heard. Then there is banging sounds coming from the back of the classroom. Here is the audio with enhancements. I thought I heard something move on the stairs. Is there someone down on the stairs? I thought I heard something move on the stairs. Is there someone down on the stairs? We move on to the next area, the hoist room, where lime juice and other provisions were loaded onto canal boats and taken upriver to their destinations.
I'm up in what's known as the hoist room. As you can see behind me, there's a trapdoor, double trapdoor, which goes right down through the building. And above it is a slightly more modern hoist, probably electrically powered, but the original hoists are outside the building and they would have been swung through and then produce would have been loaded up and down. Now, I've been told that, okay, that's one of the devices in the other room going off. This building was used as a warehouse and it produced lime juice. And over that side of the building, there's actually a canal, and their products were hoisted down here and loaded and unloaded onto barges which went up and down the canal. So what I'd like to ask, is there any spirits here who were involved with that process, who worked here when this was a factory? Or indeed who were perhaps involved with the building of this particular building?
That's them doors behind me that go to that classroom.
It's quite strange. I feel, for the first time tonight, I feel slightly uneasy. I don't know why. I almost felt like there was a shiver that sort of went through me a minute ago when you heard that noise. Tell me your name. Don't just stand over there, come over here. You have the upper hand.
Phil receives a reply. A child's voice responds, but we cannot work out what is being said. Here is the audio taken from Phil's digital recorder.
You have the upper hand. You have the upper hand.
Nothing else was heard in the hoist area, so Peter decides to go back down to the basement area where we were earlier, where we had poltergeist activity with the chairs moving, and Phil and I leave the building.
As you can see, I'm all by myself. The rest of the team are outside. I'm the only one in the building. It's a bit scary, but not too bad. So it's just me and whoever else is here. Come talk to me. It is very quiet, apart from the faint rumbling of traffic outside. Do you have anything you want to say? Anything you want to do? Anything you want to do? Anything you want to do? Give me a reason to believe in it, in something. It would be brilliant if you could. Make me jump. I dare you. I won't mind. Won't be upset. I promise. I'm encouraging you to do it. Be a brilliant story to tell. Got all these cameras here. I'll be able to prove it as well. This area in the building is one of the areas where we had some things happen. The chair across from me was making a few noises. It moved. A chair, I think the one I'm sitting on, or maybe another one, that moved behind Jeff. But it's all gone quiet now. What's happened?
A voice of a child saying hello to Peter is captured on all of our audio, which Peter did not hear at the time. It is so clear that it needs no enhancing.
It's all gone quiet now. What's happened? But it's all gone quiet now. What's happened?
We release Peter from the basement and fire up the SLS V2 high resolution cam, which will map in any figures that our eyes cannot see. We work our way through the building, room by room, floor by floor. We go down a set of stairs which leads to the first floor classroom, when suddenly a figure is then mapped out on our SLS cam at the top of the stairs. The figure then disappears off screen, so we carry on sweeping the location. No more evidence was captured, and we wrap up our investigation at the old Ragged School. Dr. Thomas John Bernardo saved thousands of children who had nowhere to go. He educated them, gave them hope and a future, and his legacy still lives on today. The spirits of the children still remain within the old Ragged School, and maybe even the doctor himself.